Hello and welcome from my side. My name is Guntram Pressmair and I'm a researcher at E7 Energy Innovation and Engineering based in Vienna, Austria. In our paper, we're discussing demand response business models for small and medium-sized prosumers with a special focus on the implications of these novel business models on distribution system operators. On the upper left, you can find a rather practical classification of flexibility markets that could be relevant for demand response. Those are the wholesale market, the ancillary services markets, with the most important one, the balancing market, the rather novel concept of local flexibility markets, where DSOs can procure flexibility, and finally the retail market, where implicit demand response could play a role. So what are now the business models from a high-level perspective that we could take into account? We're mostly talking about two generic business models, and we put these two business models also here in these flowcharts. The first one is the explicit demand response business model, the aggregator business model. Here, a novel entity, the aggregator, is controlling loads at prosumers' premises, bundling these flexibilities, and then selling the flexibility to flexibility requesting parties such as DSOs on the local flexibility market, to TSOs on the balancing market, or to BRPs on the wholesale market. In contrast to that, we have the implicit demand response business model, how we call it the Flesco model. Flesco stands for Flexibility Service Company, and that's basically an entity providing the service of load profile optimization directly to a prosumer, so the prosumer can maximize the benefit from a dynamic tariff. However, we are convinced these business models can only be successful if they are integrated into an attractive service bundle. That's because we are talking about small prosumers, therefore we always have small profit margin, and we need to cut down the transaction costs. Therefore, we propose 4 options to integrate these two demand response models into a comprehensive service packages. This could be as a combination of demand response and energy efficiency services, such as energy performance contracting. A second option would be demand response and electricity supply, which is very promising to reach also household customers. A third option would be demand response and equipment supply, where, for example, a heat pump manufacturer controls a pool of flexible heat pumps and activates flexibility in this way. And finally, these two business models could also play a role in microgrid management. So what are now the implications of these novel business models to the distribution system operators? First of all, we can begin from the fact that a market uptake of these business models, where flexibility is sold to different markets with different reasoning, could lead to additional constraints in the distribution grid. Therefore, we have an increasing need for flexibility at DSO level, but the DSO can also procure this flexibility in a market-based manner very efficiently from aggregators. Also, the DSO plays an important role in metadata provision. All these models need data from smart meter. Therefore, the DSO has an important role here to ensure transparency and also the privacy for the prosumers and their data. And from a perspective of future regulation, DSOs could also provide dynamic and even locally varying grid tariffs, which would be for sure a booster for the Flesco model, the implicit demand response model, where the prosumers react to the varying grid prices. As a conclusion, we can say demand response business models for small prosumers are always subject to small profit margins. Therefore, all these business models can be only successful if they achieve to cut down transaction costs, when they automate processes, when they keep customer interaction low. From the DSO perspective, we can say market uptake of these business models could lead to increasing need for local flexibility, but the DSO can procure this flexibility efficiently from aggregators. Also, DSO play a role as market facilitators, especially in the future when we're thinking of new tariffs. And after all, the DSO in most member states is responsible for metadata provision and therefore is an important facilitator here for all these business models. This work has been carried out within the Horizon 2020 Delta project. And if you want to learn more about the Delta business models, you can download the full report here using the link or the QR code on this poster. Thank you very much for watching.